Hello, and welcome back to the South King County Real Estate Update. Today is March 23rd, and as of tomorrow, it'll be a year since I first started this video series. I'm really excited to have been doing this for an entire year, every week, bringing you the most current real estate news available. And I really appreciate you tuning in. Feel free to share this video, share my channel with people that you think might be interested. And I would be happy to, I'm happy to grow my channel, share my information with as many people as possible. I just really want to get this info out there. So thank you so much for joining me. It means the world to me. All right, I'll go ahead and get into my slides. So, as I said, this is the South King County Real Estate Update. My name is Sarah Eggleston of Stone Egg Realty at John L. Scott. And so I still have some baseball schedules. So if you want a copy of your baseball schedule, just shoot me a message, give me a call, whatever. Just get me your mailing address and I will get that over to you. There's still some spots open for my hot air balloon sunset paint night. I'm so excited to paint this picture, and I haven't really done much of like the rainbow blending before, so I'm really excited to kind of try this one. So link is in the description below. So what happened this week? This week, I'm going to jump into it a little bit more in depth in a minute, but I just wanted to share this news article from the Sunday Times. Might be mirror image for you, I'm not sure. But I have this whole Sunday spread is about buying a home. It is a very large article, very long. And this really describes pretty accurately what's going on, or well, I guess what you need to do to be successful in the market. I thought this was actually a really well put together article. A lot of these articles are not necessarily the best if you they use the wrong terminology, and but in this case, this article was just really well put together. They interviewed a bunch of real estate agents and lenders in our area to talk about how to get your offer accepted and make it to closing, because that is the absolute goal right now, is just find a house that you like and get your offer accepted, because there's really just not that much on the market, like historically low inventory available. So if you can find something, then you're doing pretty good. And then if you can win the offer or get your offer accepted, man, you're doing really well, because there's probably, 3 to 20 other people that didn't get their offer accepted on that house. I'm just amazed at how many offers are coming in on a single house right now. It's pretty incredible. And this is really, it outlines all of the interactions that I've been having with my clients. A lot of this is what I've been telling them is you have to be aware of the market, look at what other people are offering for similar homes in the area. And for most home types in most areas, people are bidding far, far above the list price. So the list price is, I guess, more of like a guideline or like the starting point in the auction when they bid up. So that is your starting number in most situations. And if a home has been on the market longer, then you can start thinking about making an offer that's lower than list price. But if it's new to the market, you can do it, but it's going to be a waste of time and energy to put an offer in that's, especially if it's significantly below asking, because it's just not going to get accepted. There's going to be somebody out there who's willing to pay a lot more. And honestly, the way you structure your loan, you can, when you're going through this process, talk to your lender I was just in a market update thing with a lender earlier today, and he was talking about um, being able to bring an extra amount down to cover the down payment in the case of low appraisal. So if the house appraises low, you're going to need to come up with money, or the seller can bring the price down, but that's happening less. So if your offer, in order to get your offer accepted, you could say, in the case of low appraisal, I'll bring 10,000 extra dollars to the closing table. That means they can put $10,000 less down on their loan, so their mortgage insurance is higher, but you can wrap it into the loan. And in this specific case that he was talking about, it was like $180 different that they brought to the closing table, and same interest rate, and they wrapped the mortgage insurance into the loan. So their payments were only like $50, $40, $50 more. So there's clever ways to structure your loan to increase the strength of your offers. So make sure that if you're going through the process, talk to your lender about that. So yeah, this is that article that I was just talking about, how to buy a house in the Seattle area's red hot 2021 real estate market. I put the topics up there. They have they talk about before you buy, preparing for the house hunt, the search, when you find that house that you love, and from pending to closed. I just took a couple little tips out of here. Like I said, it's a very long article. If you are shopping for a home or planning to in the near future, I would highly recommend just going and checking this article out on seattletimes.com. And but here they say, get real about list prices. They can be meaningless because so many houses sell for over their list price, nearly half in the Seattle area, according to Zillow. Look at homes listed below the amount you can actually spend in order to leave room for sweetening your offer. This is definitely something that I've told my clients. Like, if you want to spend $500,000, if that's your max, you're going to want to look at 410, 420 price range to give you room to bid up in the process. Another tip that they had here was about preparing your bid. And this is very, very important. The dollar amount isn't the only factor that can make your offer stand out. So there's contingencies. A lot of people are waiving their inspection contingency right now. And there's a whole bunch of protections that you can include for the buyer. People are choosing to leave those out so that it sways the seller towards their offer. And the seller may choose an offer that's not the highest price because the terms are better. So if closing date, whether there's an inspection or not, the type of financing, these are all important factors to think about when crafting your offer. And as a seller, when reviewing all the offers, it's sometimes the highest price is not going to be the offer that's the best for you. So, and you can see the down payment varies on average depending on where you're shopping. If you're shopping in King County, the median down payment is 18.4%. So a lot of people in King County are putting more money down than Snohomish or Pierce County. In Pierce County, the average down is only 4.6%. So if you're having trouble finding homes in your area that suit your needs, they suggest going further out and considering condos. So widen your search area, and consider these condos, because the condo market is way less intense than the market for single family homes. The single family homes are just, the demand has gone through the roof for these. So we are actually seeing a little bit more of interest in the condos because they're a little bit more reasonably priced by comparison. And they also remind you that the down payment isn't the only cash you'll need. There's a lot of closing costs associated with buying a home. So make sure you talk to your real estate agent and your lender about how much cash you will actually need to have when you reach the closing table. And this was just a map from the area, a heat map for the percentage of homes sold above list price. So you can see down here, Kent, Des Moines, along 167 here, things are going for significantly more, like got 60 to 80% of list price. It's just insane. So the bidding wars, as I said, are just everywhere in our market right now. And 73.9% of homes are selling with multiple offers right now. So the screws tighten up for home buyers in March. Prices surged 17.2%, and that is a year-over-year stat. Sales jumped 12.3% since March last year, but we'll talk about this a little bit more in depth in a minute. You're going to see some pretty shocking statistics, especially starting when they come out with the April statistics next month, because the year-over-year comparison, like for 3 or 4 months, we just kind of died in the real estate market last year as people were full of uncertainty, and people don't make big decisions like buying a home when they're uncertain about the future. So this is just, you'll see some shocking numbers, and I just wanted to prepare you for that. All the homes are getting multiple offers, and prices are increasing. Washington State ranks low for home foreclosures, but aid groups are bracing for more. During the pandemic, we had this moratorium on foreclosures. There have been far fewer foreclosures in the last year than we would normally expect to see because there was a moratorium on foreclosures. Washington ranked 42nd among the 50 states, so we're pretty low on our foreclosure rate, whereas Delaware was number 1. So here, 1 in every 10,000 homes had a foreclosure. There, 1 in every 1,000, 1,700. But across here, this is an important quote. Across Western Washington, home shoppers are eager to buy, but inventory is slim, creating a seller's market where a Seattle area homeowner is at risk of foreclosure. A Seattle area homeowner who's at risk for foreclosure may be able to sell their house and walk away with a profit. Home prices have increased so much that if somebody is at risk for being foreclosed on, they just can't make their mortgage payments and catch up from what they're behind, good chance they could sell their home, walk away with a profit, and then either rent or buy a smaller home to be in a better financial situation going forward. This article was actually a while ago, but recently brought to my attention. So I thought this was an interesting one. Gigantic mixed-use development to begin in Tukwila. So in our South King County market here, Tukwila is pretty centralized as far as, there's main roads running through it. And it's easy to get to a lot of places from that area. And they're adding a bunch more single family townhomes, just mixed use facility in the Tukwila area. So this is encouraging to see that we are getting more large developments planned for our area because we're just so short of housing. So this is really exciting to see. And that brings us to our market stat minute. So we had 925 new listings, 1,176 pending, and 885 sold. So you can see our pendings in this area in King County are still climbing. There's a lot of areas where that is just not the case because there's not the inventory. So this is good to see that we are still climbing on our pendings. New listings, we did come down a little bit, so we could see the pending line go down this next week since we just had a fewer listings come to the market. So this is what I was talking about over the year-over-year comparisons. So the blue line is key box showings for Northwest MLS in this week. And below, you can see that is last year. So we just had, people were just starting to go tour homes again last year around this time. So you can see we have a huge increase in shoppers that are out and active. That is exactly what we'd expect to see because people were kind of still locked down a year ago. And then on the other side here, we have national numbers. The single family sales, you can see March, April, May, June last year were just way down nationally on how many closings we had. So, and we've gone up and gotten to a very hot market, tons of sales right now, as soon as, I mean, as many as we can because we were lacking inventory, but it's just super hot. So comparing this April to last April is going to be like night and day. There's just going to be such a huge difference there. Yeah, it's going to create some sensational headlines. So this one, I won't spend too much time here. Area 350 here is the Renton Highlands, where my office is located. And so this is Southwest and Southeast King County. And you can see in area 350, the Renton Highlands, we are down 78.75% on the inventory available, the active homes available from a year prior. It's just the change from last year is just so significant. And you can see nationally showings have started to tick down a little bit, but this is just due to the lack of inventory nationally to see. Hopefully we'll get more inventory as we head closer to summer and we'll get to see more showings and more activity. So mortgage rates last week were at 3.04, bringing it to this week, US average mortgage rates under 3% for the first time since February. And so they're saying that the weekly average for Freddie Mac is 2.97 this week, and that mortgage rates are expected to remain low throughout the year. And yeah, another report came out yesterday, that showed that sales of existing home sales fell for the second straight month in March because there are so few on the market. Coronavirus pandemic has fueled demand for single family homes as people look for more space. But if we look at the mortgage rates from Mortgage News Daily, not taking those averages throughout the week, this is a single point of the day today, and it's at 3.12%. So it was a little bit lower at the beginning of the week, went up and then came back down. So and they had Mortgage News Daily came out with an article yesterday about mortgage rates improve on 7-week lows. Some borrowers are seeing similar quotes to what they would have earlier in the week. So really the increments from day to day are pretty small, but we are headed down, ticking back down on our interest rates. And again, I want to hear from you. Let me know what you would like to see in these shows. I am creating these for you. So let me know what you'd like to see. If there's any information you'd like to stay updated on in the real estate market, I would love to provide that information for you. If you have any questions or comments about any of this, please feel free to reach out. I would love to hear from you. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. My phone number is on the screen there, email address as well as in the description below. Thank you so much for joining me. Again, my name is Sarah Eggleston with Stone Egg Realty at John L. Scott. I'll be back here again Friday at 3 p.m. next week, and I will see you then. Have a fantastic week.